Hey everybody, this is Cricket here, going to be giving you guys a Force Strategy Gaming cast, and this cast is going to be from MLG Dallas that just came. A lot of games have been casted, so I wouldn't be surprised if this has already been casted, but it was very interesting kind of in how everything went. It is a PvP matchup, and I know this actually doesn't end up getting casted much because it seems to be very boring, but I mean it's very I don't know how to say it, but the smallest things are what matter in this matchup, and so we're going to see possibly how those things play out. Of course, we do have our blue Protoss player EG in control versus Root KiWiKaKi as the red Protoss player, and this is Shattered Temple. And of course they are close air distances. Of course Root KiWiKaKi, we know him as the Blink Stalker Pro. He uses Blink Stalkers with that micro, that's just his trademark move, it seems to be. And in control, just one of the best teachers out there, and one of the most popular guys out there. So looking for a phenomenal game from this matchup, even though it's PvP. So we do see that it looks like both players are going for gas steals. At least, yeah, there we go, gas steal. So trying to make sure that no one is able to gain the economic advantage over one another. And so it does look like In Control has a gateway into Cybercore, and then it looks like KiWiKaKi is going into another gateway, potentially more gateways. Of course, this is known as a 4-gate versus 4-gate type of matchup, so we'll see if that actually does play a part or if anything different happens. But we do see a Twilight Council coming from In Control, so already something different, not planning on going 4-gate. So I'm going to go and slow things down to the faster speed and take a look at what is going on here. So Twilight Council, so maybe In Control is thinking Blink Stalkers of his own, but let's go and look back at KiWiKaKi, and it does look like he is going 4-gate, and he's not really trying to hide this from In Control, it doesn't appear. So In Control can only see those 3 gates, but the Warp Gate tech is being chrono boosted out while the Geyser is getting destroyed, the assimilator. So very interesting. I'm very curious to why In Control's probe is just chilling out here. What is the pylon over here? So we'll see what kind of comes of that. He does have a few minerals stockpiled, it looks like. Just gonna keep our eyes on this. In Control, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? With that Twilight Council, the only thing that makes me think is maybe he's trying to hide a dark shrine. I don't know. But we'll get back to that and see what happens. The 4 gates are done from KiWiKaKi, getting that second assimilator up and just getting some zealots, and then of course a sentry to block the ramp if any early pressure comes. And there it is, In Control, Dark Shrine, trying to hide it, sneak in some Dark Templars for this MLG game. So it does look like In Control, it has he does have 3 gates up, so we can see down there. So does look like it's going to be a relatively interesting game. It'll all matter on if In Control is able to get these Dark Templars in there. KiWiKaKi is pushing out to go and get these Xel'Nagas, but of course we see that he saw the Stalkers were shooting his assimilators, so he knows it's Stalker heavy. Now I'm going to go and just have a pause moment here, and whenever you saw that, he didn't make any more Stalkers, he just made more Zealots. When I used to be a Protoss player and we would 4-gate each other, it was always a matter of who had the right amount of Zealots for the right amount of Stalkers, who had the right amount of Stalkers for Zealots and Sentries, and so it was always this weird combination. So In Control saw Stalkers, so he's like, okay, I need to make sure I have enough Zealots to tank the damage and also do some good damage against the Stalkers. So I'm going to go and unpause it and see if KiWiKaKi does intend on pushing up as his essential 4-gate is done. It does look like we do see a Robo, so 4-gate Robo, so he will need to expand soon if he plans on affording all of that. But of course now we do see a Twilight Council as well, so very interesting play, and I don't believe KiWiKaKi has seen this at all. I don't know if he's been tipped off in some kind of way. I can't imagine how he would be. But that Dark Shrine is finishing, and we do see a proxy pylon for In Control, and KiWiKaKi is returning to his base, waiting for this observer that might just come at the perfect time in order to get these DTs. So the Dark Templars are out, and so but I think that this observer is going to be out just in time. Oh man, this could be a perfectly timed attack. Oh, KiWiKaKi sees the invisible people, and it does look like the observer gets out just in time. All these DTs are going down. I doubt any harvesters were taken out. Maybe 1, maybe 2, but almost no damage done. It looks like the Stalkers were just getting attacked, and so unfortunately all that spent resources, if we look at the units lost tab, we see all these unspent resources that now In Control is very far behind. behind, and of course essentially he would be ahead in tech, but it does look like KiWiKaKi has started to tech himself with the observers and the Twilight Council, getting that blink research, so going to be doing his signature move with the blink stalkers. So it does have an observer out at the front to make sure no more DTs are going. And he doesn't know where the Dark Shrine is, but it doesn't really matter at this point in time. iNcontrol now transitioning into a 5-gate build, it appears. And hopefully we'll start to see an expansion from one of these players, or this is going to really start to turn into some kind of all-in play. So be very interested to see what happens next. Just going to be waiting on that. Blink research is finishing up for our KiWiKaKi. So he is going to be able to use his trademark move, and it does look like maybe an expansion is going up for KiWiKaKi. So hopefully iNcontrol will do the same, but of course KiWiKaKi is timing this so that he's pushing out with that expansion. It's always good in every matchup. If you're going to expand, why not apply some pressure? So that is what is on KiWiKaKi's mind, and it does look like a probe is over here, potentially going to sneak an expansion himself, as there is an observer hovering right outside, knowing that iNcontrol does not have that expansion. Of course, that observer goes down, and it looks like a fairly even matchup. If we bring up the units tab, it actually does look like KiWiKaKi does have the advantage, of course, with iNcontrol without any kind of sentries to force field the ramp. But of course, KiWiKaKi isn't for sure. He doesn't know that for sure. So not quite ready to give his whole army, because that can easily be a game-changing moment for our players. So it does look like iNcontrol is going to go ahead and get his expansion at the natural of the northern base, and we'll see what happens next. It does look like, let's go and bring up the protection tab, we have charge going for KiWiKaKi. So sticking on gateway units and upgrading their tech, so he's going to have blink and charge lots. That's going to be very effective, as the zealots are going to be able to really puncture into that stalker army or the zealot army of iNcontrol while blinking around with that awesome micro that KiWiKaKi has. So already great saturation, as he did a pretty good split off, so he's going to be able to make a little bit more money and make more and more probes. It does look like iNcontrol, though, still teching up into a robotics base, so going to be trying to get some Colossus out in time, though no Colossus are out on the map quite yet, even though he has had this Robo Bay up for quite some time. Be interested on how much longer he's going to delay on that. It does look like he is chrono boosting out his blink tech as of right now. Does not want to overcommit such an army. So does look like a proxy pylon actually right on the outskirts of iNcontrol's base. So they don't. We'll see who finds who first. And of course, it does look like iNcontrol needing that extra gas. So that is what he is going for with this expansion. But it does look like KiWiKaKi's taking a very commanding economic lead. So unless if iNcontrol can do something very quickly, very soon, this is going to be a very bad case for iNcontrol. So KiWiKaKi warping in more stalkers, making sure he doesn't get supply blocked, making more pylons. Does look like Thermal Lance is coming up. The first Colossus is almost out for iNcontrol, and we're going to see if this can be the tide changer. Of course, he is so low on gas due to the tech, and he really can't afford those sentries that I really think he does need in order to force field the ramp, potentially cut the army in half, and also the what is it, the Guardian Shield that takes away damage from each ranged attack. But of course, it does look like the gig is up, and KiWiKaKi now knows that iNcontrol's base is out here in the open, and it does look like he's probably going to move in and capitalize on that, as he doesn't want iNcontrol to have any kind of economic advantage whatsoever. And this base, I don't think there's any way iNcontrol can handle this, as he is behind in supply, though he does have that Colossus. His tech is a little higher with that charge and blink. I don't know if iNcontrol has much of a prayer, as KiWiKaKi warping in a whole lot more stalkers right now. Does look like his robotics bay is up himself, so going to be thinking about Colossus at the same time this expansion goes up. And of course, he has 3 observers, and the reason why is because he knows a dark shrine is out there somewhere and doesn't want to. But it looks like iNcontrol is getting kind of caught out in the open. Going to go to rumble time here, and it does look like there's going to be a little bit of shoot and move, but there is yet again no sentry to force field this ramp, though. But there are observers, so he would be able to blink up on the high ground regardless, and it does look like iNcontrol is going to bite the dust. The last Colossus comes out here. I think that was a bad move by iNcontrol to try and save his expansion, as his army was just not big enough, though there are zealots in the back, not going to be able to do too much, but I don't think that matters. We do see KiWiKaKi blinking down to the low ground in order to keep his units alive, and it does look like KiWiKaKi is going to take this game. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this kind of interesting PvP matchup between KiWiKaKi and iNcontrol, and of course iNcontrol always being one of the nicest players out there, saying KiWiKaKi, you're a fantastic player, wishes the best for him in the tournament. And I believe KiWiKaKi did extremely well in the tournament. I think he was one of the top 5 players. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This has been a Force Strategy Gaming cast, and of course if you guys like my stuff, I just ask that you come over, check my stuff out, and possibly subscribe. And of course my channel has the most for your Zerg players, the most Spenny Schwa. I actually have a playlist now. I think I have about 12 games of Spenny Schwa. So if you guys are interested in seeing more of his games, of course come on over. But of course, thank you guys, and this is Cricket. I'm out.